Hello everyone, my name is Sajid and today we are going to design a simple HTML form using HTML and CSS. So I will try to keep everything simple to you understand easily. As you know, I am in my VS Code and here is my browser. In VS Code, I have a form design folder which is completely empty, and now we will create our folders and files to create the form. First of all, I'll create a folder with the name of CSS. Here we will keep our CSS files and a new file with the name of index.html. So for now, I'll create a new CSS file in the CSS folder with the name of style.css, and our everything is ready. So now we can write our code in HTML and CSS to design our form. So let's write the basic structure of CSS, HTML, and here we will write link for our CSS file. So we have a CSS folder, and inside the folder we have style.css file. And let me change the title to form design. That's great. And let me open it with live server. So now you see how form design is loaded. We will create a reusable form design that can we use it anywhere anytime in HTML or CSS linked together. So now we need a main body. So I will have a div with the class of form body, and inside this div I will have a form. And let me delete this action because we don't need it for now. We are just designing the form, and inside the form obviously we will have some inputs. So I will take an input with type of text, and the placeholder will be enter your name. Like this we will have another input, and input type will be number, and placeholder will be enter your age. Another input that we will have is about address, so it will be text, and the placeholder will be enter your address. Also we will have a select, and let me clear these things because we don't need name and ID. For now we will have an option and the value will be not necessary, and we will have a attribute of disabled and selected, and we will write select age, not age, gender. That's for gender. And we will have a option without the value, and option will be male. I'll copy paste it, female, copy paste, other. So it's our select. After select, once again we will have an input, and input type will be file, and file don't have placeholder. And after file we will have another input, and the input will be about date. So this will be for date, and let me get it from here, cut, and we'll paste it after age. Here we will paste it. So at the end we need a text area, so text area will be with us, and the name and ID is not necessary, so I'll clear it. Columns, I think we don't need it because we will define the width for it, and the rows also not important, but we will keep it 5, and the placeholder will be a right comment. Search for comment, and you see that everything is here. At the end we need a button to submit the form, so I will have a button, and the button will be save. So as you see, everything in form we need is here. One thing more that we have, we should take a caption for our form. So I'll take it inside my form, and we'll have a div with the class of form caption. So it's form caption, and inside the form caption I will have a h2, and h2 I will write user registration. It's just for you, you can write anything as you wish. So our form is completely ready, and we don't need anything more to write in the HTML. Now we will jump to style.css file, and we will write CSS for our form. First of all, we will have a selector, a universal selector, and we will keep padding to 0 of all elements in our HTML. Margin will also be 0, and let me write margin, and box sizing will be border box. If we face a problem, so border box will handle it. Second thing, body, and the body will have a background color, and the background color I have collect some colors to use it in our project. So we will have a gray color, and this is for our gray color. I will paste it here, and you see our form is our body is like this. Now we also need a font family. So font family is also, I have downloaded some fonts from Google fonts, and it's with me. I'll copy it and paste it here. Let me tell you that I installed these fonts in my system. So if you want, you can use the links from Google Fonts to keep everything simple and clean code. I installed the fonts and just have the name of them here. So I will use this font to create our form. Now the body is ready. Let me write code for body. I mean form body. So I have a class of form body, and this form body will have some styles. So let me just write some styles for form. The form body is this, and we will first write some styles for the form. So directly I'll select the form, and I will have a bit of 50%, and also I will have a background of white. That's great. And now we need to write some code for form body, because we need this form to be in the center of our page. So we will use flex, display flex, and justify content center. So now our form should be in center, but let me check what is the problem. Okay, we have form, and I write from, so let me make it to form, and now you see everything is in center. Now we will write our more CSS or design code to form. Padding will be one rem, so we have one rem padding, and like this we will have that's enough for now. Let's jump to inputs. So here we have inputs, select and text area, and we will select all of them together and will apply some styles on them. So first I will have form, and form I have input. Another selector will be form, and in form we have select, and that last selector in form we have text area. So we will write same style for three of them. First thing, we have width, and the width will be 100%. So our all fields will be completely with the width of the form. Also we will have some margin top, and the top margin will be about 0.5 rem. So you see our form inputs are now have a margin of top. Also little bit padding, so I'll keep it 0.5 rem, and I think it's enough. So by default, if we see, our inputs have border and also outline, so we need to make them 0. Border is 0, and also outline will be also 0, and we will define border manually. So the border will be about 1 pixel solid, and the color we will use is just gray. So now the form border is defined manually, and everything in the form we have will be just text aligned to center. So now text aligned to center. So now you see everything is aligned to the center. So we should have some margins to the top. So I will use my form body, and I'll just write margin, and margin will be from top and bottom 2 rems, and left right 0 rem. So now it's great. Now we will need some more changes here. So we will write border radius, and border radius will be about 3 pixels. So that's great. And also we will have a focus. When we focus on each input, it will have a shadow. So what we will do, we will have a form, and in form we will have input and a pseudo class of focus. When we focus, here will be a box shadow, and box shadow will be 0 horizontally, 0 vertically, and about 5 pixel blurriness, and the color will I have a color with this code, so I'll paste it here, and the color will be this. So when I focus, you see we have now select doesn't have a text area, also doesn't have the box shadow. So we will write for this too. I will copy and paste it. Input will change to select, and input will change to text area. That's great. So now text area also has a box shadow, and our select input is also has form box shadow. And now we will write code for button. So in form we have a button, and the button will have a padding top bottom 0.5 rem, or left right will be 1 rem. Also the color will be white, and the background color will be this one. So I'll copy it from here and will paste it here. So now the button also have a border and outline, so we need to make them 0. So the border will be 0, and the padding sorry, not the padding, outline will be also 0. Now that's great. And let me have some border radius. Border radius will be 3 pixels. So now there is a 3 pixels border radius. Now we will have some hover effects. We make the focus effect. Now we have some hover effects for our whole forms and for the button. First I will write for the form, so I'll have a comment hover effects. So I'll write whenever someone hover on form, so once again we will have box shadow, and box shadow will be 0 horizontally, 0 vertically, and about 15 pixel, and the color we use is this one. I'll paste it here, save, and when I come in hover, you see we have now the big box shadow. Transition is diameter, so I'll come here to the my universal selector, and that's selecting my all elements in HTML. So I'll write a general transitions all. It will be about 0.5 seconds, and the effect will be ease. So now let me check. That's great. Now we have the effect. Let me have a hover effect for the button. So I'll write it for form. In form we have a button, and the button will have hover effect. Sorry, hover effect, and the effect will have a box shadow, and the box shadow will be 0 0 not 0. It will be 3 pixel vertically, and the blurriness will be 0, and the color I have here will be this one. So this color, I'll paste it here, save. Now when you hover on the button, you see the effect. Also when we hover on the button, our cursor is not pointer, so we will come here button, and we will write cursor, and the cursor will be pointer. Now it's cool, we feel that it's a button. So all our form is designed. We need some effects or some unique style for the file input, for the select, and for the date. So we will create selectors for the file, for the select, and for the date. Let me see. We have form. In form we have input, so I will use attribute selector. The type is equal to date, one selector is for the date, and form input and type is equal to file, and second is for file, and the last one is form. In form we have select, and That's enough, and we will write that border left will have a unique style, and the unique style will be 3 pixels solid, and this will have the color. We write it here. Now save, and you will see the effect. That's great. Our form is completely ready to use. One thing more, we need some border radius around all our forms, so we need to come here to the form and write border radius, and the border radius will be about 5 pixels. So it's now good. And if we have some more margins between every input, so we can increase it we here, and instead of 0.1 rem we will keep it 1 rem, and that's very good. Let me maximize the page. Oh, that's very bad. We need to keep it about 30% of our page, so this will be 30% of our page. And also one thing more, we need the button to have some margins top and bottom, so I'll come here and to the button, and I'll write margin, and top or bottom will be about 1 rem, and left right will be 0. So now that's great. Our form is completely ready, and we can use it for our projects. That's the very easy way to use a form and design it very well. Now if you want to make it responsive, so you can write some media queries when your window becomes smaller. As I mentioned, that this form will be reusable. We just write once a CSS, we can use it anytime when we mention or link this CSS to our HTML. For example, if I come here and create another file with the name of test.html and copy the path and come to the browser and paste it here, so you see everything is clear. Now let me have a basic structure of HTML. Oh, let me create a link and link and CSS file folder and style.css file. Now if I reload, you see that background color is gray. Now if I need the form, I will just have a div with the class of form body, and if I reload the page, you see there is nothing. But whenever I have a form and save it, reload the page, you see that the design is now here. And if my form have a caption, so I will have a div with the class of form caption, and here we will write our caption. I will write h3, and the caption will be student registration, registration. And you will see that the design we have done is now here. That's the thing that we change h1 to h2 to h3. Now if I just have an input, and the tab will text, and the placeholder will be enter your name, you will see that the style we had is now here. And if I come here and have an input of date, save it, so see, and the style that we did before, it's now here. And if I have an input of number, and its placeholder will be placeholder will be enter your age, so that's also good. And if I come and have a select, and in the select I write option, and the option I will have select country for now, so you see we have the same style that we had here. And also for take a input file, so now the input file also has that. And if I have a text area, so the text area will also has the same style and the same focus. And the last one was button. If I have a button, instead of save, I will write update, save, and reload the page. You see every style that we had here now is available here, because we just wrote a reusable code in our style.css file. And whenever we need a form, we just follow these steps, and we will have the same form as we design in the index.html. So if the video was useful for you, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Thank you for the watching.